I'm giving Fish enough time to edit that out, whatever that was. Welcome back to the Bar Talk Podcast. I am Andy of Inebriart, and joined today by Carl Heine of Tolson Tavern and New World Tavern.
Hello, everybody.
Dan Mahoney of Stats.
See, you just gotta have a place that has one word for Andy to get the name right.
I didn't get the name wrong.
He did hesitate.
He did hesitate, right? He's only said it 4,000 times. I was told 150 episodes.
Carl Heine of, and then he looks at me and he's lost because of my beauty.
He gets lost in
Yeah,
your
he
eyes.
gets lost in your eyes.
Yeah.
It's that twinkle, Kyle.
All right, now I got to turn your mics down because
Because
now I can fucking hear you guys, and I wish I couldn't. So Dan Mahoney Stats,
Yeah, bye-bye.
Jess Hamill of New World Tavern.
Hello.
There you go. He said it right that time.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't have the sparkle in her eyes. That
It's because
I don't like to shoot my sparkle at Andy.
I have the sparkle. She has the cackle.
Yes.
It's like, which one do I have to put first? Sorry, are you regretting your decision yet?
No, I'm here.
Andy Shaw of Road Back Home. Road Back Home, right?
Road back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Back home band.
I think you got it right, and you
Yeah.
stood
Which is,
there
a,
know,
yourself.
right?
which is an
Yeah.
up-and-coming band here in the Plymouth County.
County.
The entire
The whole county, yeah.
The whole county. So we brought Andy on because he's working with the New World Tavern on Plymouth Calling, and I don't know what that is.
Let me explain.
Someone want to explain what the
Someone
hell it's
take
talking
it.
about?
So I am with the band The Road Back Home, but for a day job, I'm a music educator here in the town of Plymouth.
A
We
music
are
educator.
a music
Yeah.
educator.
The unsung heroes of the education system.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yes,
Appreciate
facts.
that.
Thank you.
Facts.
I was going to say that.
I was class musician, so I'm very partial to music educators.
So go ahead.
Now I can talk?
Yeah.
All right. Nobody warned me about
I
this.
was gonna say,
so
you're gonna get interrupted a lot.
we have we have a parent booster organization known as the Plymouth Schools Music Association, and they are a group of parent volunteers and members of our community. And their job is to basically support our students and our programs through ways of putting together fundraisers, being at our shows and performances, collecting ticket money for us, creating programs for us. They do a lot of behind-the-scenes work.
Don't you just get all this money from the school department?
No, we don't.
One would
unfortunately.
think.
You would think. But what's great about Plymouth is we do have a large music and theater program here in town, and we are fortunate to have a supportive community here, including this place, New World Tavern, with Carl and Jess helping us out with this. But we are.
You're welcome.
Yep. We are in the process of rekindling a fundraiser that we started, I think it was like 3 years before the pandemic. And it was the local band showcase. And it was a group of musicians that were volunteering their time, and we had some silent auction items. And over the course of 3 years, it became one of our more successful fundraisers. And then, like everything else with the pandemic,
world shut down.
The world shut down. And so did the fundraiser. But one of the other big things that kind of stalled out was our parent organization, just with the schools kind of in flux with how they were going to kind of proceed. Our parent organization kind of got put on the back burner. But this year, we had a group of motivated parent volunteers that have started the PSMA back up, and they've hit the ground running, and we're getting this fundraiser back up and going. And one of the first things we did was change the name to Plymouth Calling so that we could market it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost the end because I'm figuring out what PSMA is. Public School Music Association, I'm guessing.
Plymouth Schools Music
Yeah, see?
Association.
And what are you
Dyslexic.
looking to raise? What is a good amount to raise, and what do you do with the money?
So all the proceeds for this fundraiser go right back into our programs, our music programs, our theater programs. In terms of what we're looking to raise, I wish we had a figure, but our big thing is just bringing more awareness to a lot of the great programs that we have here in Plymouth, and bringing the Plymouth community together in a unique fundraising event for schools. It is a 21-plus event, but to bring in
No 10-year-olds.
no 10-year-olds.
That was last episode, Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm outside
last
of the
month.
inside joke.
Yeah.
But we are looking to bring our Plymouth community together for a night of fundraising for a great cause, and putting on some live music and having a good time.
Yeah.
So we've run some fundraisers in the past at Inebriart, and we found the best way to raise money is make it about pets. Can you teach pets to play music lessons?
I wish,
I saw a chicken do it once.
include animals.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right?
next year, Jess,
Right,
we
yeah, I
can
know.
get some livestock.
We'll just have
Don't have it at the new World Tavern. I'll tell you right now.
There's enough animals here.
just have emotional support dogs
Oh, now
for
we're talking.
being happy.
Yeah.
Just some timeout time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
But, God, I don't want to compliment Carl.
I know. Look, it's okay.
Don't.
We
I
all
will.
have to do it
I'll
every now and
compliment
then.
Carl.
Yeah.
So the New World Tavern has a history of being involved in the community.
We try.
That's as much
That was
as
it.
I-
That
That's
it?
as much as I can
was it.
compliment.
I'll take it.
End of compliment. Yes.
No, but I mean, Inebriart's always felt that it's an important part of, business in general is to hold the door for the guy behind you, whether that's helping someone else get their business started or giving back to the community in some way. Does Stats do anything like that, Dan? I feel like that's a no.
We do fundraisers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my life. Like the next until the marathon's done.
That's
We
right.
have 1 million fundraisers a day. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. We don't do stuff like this stuff. It's tough to do in the city.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's tough, but I think it's really cool because it's just something different instead of like a bake sale.
That's I think that was like the big thing when they first started the fundraiser was looking at doing something different.
Yeah.
The bake sales are dated. The
Right.
idea of
Yeah.
doing
Right.
that type of stuff is dated.
I don't think I've ever seen
But if I
a
go
bake
out
sale.
with my wife and she's like, "Come on, we're going to a fundraiser," I'm like, "What the hell?" And if she says, "Well, they have a bar there," I'm like, "Well, it makes it a little easier on me."
And that's part of the way that we're kind of pushing it, especially with communicating to our parents, being my students' parents, is it's an evening out. It's an
Yeah.
afternoon out. They can come out and see live performances without having to
Right.
worry about being out till midnight. And again, all the money is going back to the music and theater
You can be
programs here.
yourself because your kids aren't going to be there with you.
Right.
during the kid
Right.
kennel.
the kid kennel.
Okay.
Who cares where they are?
Carl agreed to babysit.
You got to rather
yeah.
back in the kid kennel.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Maybe.
Because that's what people want to hire me to do.
But it is music and theater programs are always underfunded, and they're always. I mean, when I was in school, it was candy bars. Sold so
Yeah.
many candy bars.
I know. I'm trying to think back of when. So me and Andy went to high school together.
No, we didn't.
And no,
This
not
Andy.
you.
The beardless Andy.
Yeah. The Andy Shaw. We went to high school together. We were both in band together. And like I can't even begin to think of the things that we used to do because it was so minimal when we would do them.
Yeah.
And yeah, candy bars and like whatever. But when we were in high school, we had a huge parent support system.
They were, you look at successful programs, you look
Yeah.
at athletics
Yeah.
in all districts, not just
Yeah.
Plymouth, but the source is having a successful parent program
Yeah.
organization behind them.
Yeah.
They do all the grunt work behind the scenes to make sure that everybody's got uniforms, everybody looks good,
Yep.
and that's true with music programs.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate to have such
Yeah,
a
we
great
really were.
parent group of they just wanted to hang around
Yeah.
and be a part of everything.
Literally, my mom was like, she was awesome.
She
Like
was the queen
she did
parent.
everything.
Yep.
She made buttons. She made signs. She would hang all along the fence for like all the games and all the shows. And my mom was super, super involved. And they don't really, they don't really get anything in return. They're just volunteering. They're just here to support the kids, and they're trying to get us to go on trips. Like we went to Washington for the inauguration. We played in the
Washington, New York.
inauguration.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
they raised the money so that we could go, and then they all came, and it was really, really cool when we were in it. And then I know it stinks like over time. It's like the band department gets a little smaller, and then that means that not as many parents are involved, and it just kind of starts to shrink.
Yeah.
And that's not, and again, with theater, all of it, it's like everything just starts to shrink when the parents don't get involved.
And that's, I think, one of the positives that came out of COVID was the ability to kind of restart a lot of these programs and get more involvement. And we have a really great group of parents that are
Yeah.
gung-ho about it. And
Yeah.
we're trying to pave the way and give them what they need to
Yeah.
be successful.
I know.
And the tough thing is it's a rotating group of parents.
Right. Right.
Yeah. It's a-
If they're a kick-ass parent, you have them for 4 years if you're
Right.
lucky.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, it's true. And then if they get if if other kids' parents that are coming up into the high school program or the middle school program, like they're coming up into it, and the parents see how big they can put on events and how big they can be involved, then they look forward to it, and then they'll get involved once their kid's in it. So it's like, if you make a big enough splash, then the community will see it, and then the parents want to be involved when their kid eventually gets to middle school or high school and be involved in it.
Yeah. So what are you doing for this fundraiser? How are you raising money? What do we got going on?
So
come on.
The road back home consists of we're a 3-piece acoustic group, and 2 of us, me and Nate Christofori, are Plymouth alumni. We went through the school system, and we do have Brent Burwell, who's going to be
he's gonna
performing.
Do it? Oh, that's great.
And we also have the band Birds Already, also Plymouth alumni that have, we've all donated our time to perform at this event. We have literally thousands of dollars of silent auction items
that's awesome.
for the event lined up. Carl is graciously going to juggle at some point during the evening.
Yes, I am.
Oh, shit, I'm going to be there now.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Tell me it's chainsaws.
It is.
The more money you donate, the
Juggling
sharper
which
the
bills
objects.
to pay this week.
But it is so we have a great lineup of musicians, and really we have a ton of companies and organizations that have reached out with silent auction items for us, and
awesome.
it's just it'll be a great night.
Yeah. And then you guys doing a 50-50 raffle as well?
Yeah, we got the PSMA, the Plymouth Schools Music Association, is putting. They've got 50-50 raffle stuff lined up. So it'll be a fun night. We get the cat. We'll have a bar out back.
Yep.
We'll have some light pub fare, is the way that I like to call it. Everybody's like, "What are you guys having?" It's like, I don't know. It's light pub fare.
Finger food.
Yeah, finger food.
I think it's a great idea because it's a lot easier to get not just parents but like aunts, uncles, family, friends to be like, hey, come out and have a beer.
That's just come out.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. It's not you don't have to necessarily know somebody directly involved with the program. It's just an event that the doors will be open here, and if you're here at New World, just happen to be here on Sunday, March 5th, and you're catching Sunday Fun Day here, and the doors are open. Come check us out.
Yeah.
It's I'm a little bummed out because my son. No, it's in a good way. It's in a good way
because this one sucks.
No, because my son was in band and they would do fundraisers, and they literally for like 2 years or 3 years in a row sold mattresses.
What?
Yeah.
All right, let's hold
And
on.
I'm like, first of all, if you run it once, okay, but then the next year you're gonna sell mattresses again? Does that work?
Wait, what?
I take it you've done that.
So true story. So like there's like as an educator, as a band director, I get like all these like fundraiser forms from different organizations, like like popcorn and chocolate and everything else. The mattress fundraiser, some districts run it every single year, and that's their big fundraiser.
What?
Yeah.
Is the mattress fundraiser.
How many mattresses do these people get?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is like
I'm just trying to think of what you can call it.
It is that Carl's going to run a 21 plus.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yikes. I don't want to work that day.
But talk about Sunday Fun Day.
Oh my God.
that's just what I couldn't understand. I'm like, if you ran it last year, why are you running it again this year? But
Please don't tell me, Carl, that you're going to have used mattresses.
Models. Oh, yeah.
The mattresses?
like small versions of the mattress.
I was just letting him finish that thought.
I wanted to cut him off before he finished.
Yeah, I know,
'cause I'm
right?
like, it's not going somewhere good.
You could try it out. Oh, yeah, I got big ideas for this.
Oh, God. Here we go.
So
I mean, my ideas are just getting bigger and bigger.
Mattress fundraiser with Carl. That's fine.
Right, yeah.
One of Carl was, when I first met Carl many moons ago. It was just about booking here. Me and Nate were just playing as a duo at the time.
They sucked, but they're much better now.
He's kept us around for 10 years, so I think we're doing all right. But he
It was your first show here.
It was. It's a true story. We had
First
a
show
beer
ever.
over there.
Cool.
It was Carl.
Now they're famous.
Carl gave us the chance. But no, he as soon as he found out that I was part of the school system and in education, he reached out and he said, if you guys need anything, if you need some space, whatever I can do to help you put together a fundraiser, he was all in. So
Yeah.
we took advantage of that, and we're now
Off and running.
off and running.
Yeah.
So how often do you try to do fundraisers, Carl?
I'll do them every day of the week if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fundraisers
So for
are
me,
always-
my location here, a fundraiser is only going to be beneficial to me. It can't hurt
Right.
my business because I've got people coming in that are supporting the fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have 100 people come in,
That have
maybe
never been
30
here
of them
before?
have never been here before, and they're going to say, hey, let's go check that place out at another time. So it might be repeat business.
Right.
But on that night, they're all going to come in, have a couple of beers, they're going to have something to eat. We don't charge as much as we would, but we're still making money off of that. And a lot of times a crowd brings a crowd.
Right.
They want to say, hey, what's going on in the New World Tavern? They're packed. Let's go see what's going on.
Right.
And it benefits everybody.
Especially for something like the back room,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where most people, I shouldn't say most people, but people are frequently curious about what it's like back
Correct.
there.
Oh, yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
even when we
Everybody
run,
wants to know what's going on. What's
Yeah.
going on back
whenever we
there?
run
What's going on
events,
back there?
people like kind of like pop back in and be
Yeah.
like,
Peeking ahead through.
It's a unique venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really cool. The space that not a lot of people have, then we can pretty much do,
Anything.
anything. Yeah. I mean, we
yeah,
can.
mattress fundraisers.
Yeah. Mattress tryouts.
Oh, God.
Mattress juggling.
It's a great
Mattress
mattress.
gathering.
Put your hiney on it.
Oh, my God.
You can have that for free.
I wouldn't have paid for it, so it's
I'm
good
trying
you
to think
got
of mattress
free. Yeah.
jokes. I got nothing.
But I think it's important to give back to the community as a business, whether it's a restaurant or a retail shop or whatever, because it's good to just give back in general. But it's also it lets everybody else know that you are in tune with what's going on in town and like that you care, and you're not just like, I'm posting up shop here and I'm
You're not just there
out.
to take their money.
Yeah, like literally, like I'm not only here to
I
take your
am there
money.
to take
I mean,
your
I
money,
am here to
but-
take your money. But yeah.
But I'm also here to take that money and give it to something good.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just comes full circle.
Right. I'm okay to share.
Yeah. Carl's a sharer.
Yeah.
Sometimes oversharer.
Overshare, yeah. Don't let him share on a mattress.
So Andy, Jesus.
So I take it my kids can't listen to this podcast.
Oh God, no. That's just a general. Not even just this episode.
Yeah. Just,
So, what is the benefit opposed to running something like a mattress sale that you just send the kids home, opposed to something like this that you're working with a business in town?
So our big thing is trying to. You don't want to. What's the saying? Draw from the same well,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So like throughout the
You
year.
don't want to suck people dry.
Okay. Yep. We could use that too. So we, throughout the course of the year, we're constantly, putting messages out to our students, and our students also have other teachers who are putting messages out to them
Yeah.
and stuff. So our big thing with this fundraiser is we don't want it to kind of blend in with everything else that's going on in the district with such a
Yeah.
large school system. Sometimes doing, something more, fill out this form, and we used to do CD fundraiser or magazine subscriptions.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you ever get those magazine
Yeah.
subscriptions? back
no.
when?
or
Other
like the
places did
CD
that.
things where you like pre-order CDs and then they get shipped to your house. What was
Yeah.
that called?
I
forget.
forget what it was.
We never did
Yeah.
that one either.
Yeah.
Like ours was pretty much chocolate bars all the way down.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel like we did some wacky stuff.
Yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day.
Well, and it's funny because
That
it's trying to
cas-
keep things new. So like you
casino
don't want to do
nights.
candy bars
Oh,
every
see,
year.
we
so
always
you're
did the
trying
car
to-
washes.
Casino
Car wash.
nights was a big thing too.
Were they bikini car washes?
Yeah, but
Carl,
For you, yeah. Shows up in a banana hammock, like, sir, you're supposed to
wear
be
my
10.
thong.
Yeah, you're supposed to be 10
Backwards.
miles from any school.
Flips it inside out. But it
couldn't
just
even see it, if you know what I'm saying. Talk about the thong.
For fuck's
Dun,
sake.
dun, dun.
You were saying, Andy.
Thank you. This type of fundraiser just kind of sticks out because it is unique, and it allows us to market on a different level because we are marketing more towards our parents and the adults in the community. We're able to kind of get word out through our social media accounts and through the artists that are performing. And it's kind of separated us from some of the other fundraising events.
Yeah.
And it makes sense where it's like you're going out to see music to support music.
That's it.
Like
Yeah.
just
Yep.
that in and of itself makes sense.
Yeah, and that's when I have there's a couple of South Shore music Facebook groups that I belong to, and the way that I market it is like the future South Shore music scene. You know, it's like these kids are the up and coming musicians, and you know, how can we support them? And this is a great way to kind of give back and get that money back into their programs to do. You know, we put on some incredible musicals. We do some great concerts, and it's just, again, just very fortunate to have such a great community to be able to do it in.
Have you gotten similar support from the musician community that you've gotten from Carl? Like, do they constantly talk about mattresses and shit?
And that's, you know, when we were doing it.
Because I didn't really think of that as like, these are the future
Yeah.
gigging
Right.
musicians in town.
When the first couple of years that we did it, we had a rotating. I think it was like everybody got like a 30-minute block, and we had everybody. I think we had 7 or 8 musicians come
my
through.
gosh.
You know, we've had Jake Hill come through.
Yeah.
Brian Hitchings has
Yep.
played. Mark Purcell.
Yep.
Hilliard's played. Like we had that those first couple of years. These guys came in. They plugged in for a half hour on their acoustics. They jammed out and then unplugged. The next guy got up. It was cool.
Yeah.
So,
That is really cool.
Yeah.
And there's a big musical community in Plymouth. I
Yeah.
think more
Huge,
so than
yeah.
a lot of other towns around here.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's part of it. Is you look at what brings, you know, people out to these places. You know, our establishments, and that the music scene here in Plymouth is big enough that, you know, a lot of people see the marketing on Facebook for these artists, and they say, all right, like, if these guys are going to be playing for Plymouth Calling, you know, we should go check them out.
Yeah.
So it's tapping into what's doing well in the community and kind of like going off of it. I know one of our fundraisers we send every couple of years. We have a relationship with Plymouth, England. That started because of leading up
that's
to the
right.
Plymouth 400.
400, yeah.
And so because of that relationship, every couple of years we send different groups over to Plymouth, UK, and every couple of years we get a group from Plymouth, UK, and one of the big fundraisers that they do is over at Mayflower. They have a big fundraiser out back because Mayflower is part of
Mayflower Brewery?
Mayflower Brewing.
Yeah.
I don't know much about beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
Is that
about
even kind of convincing?
But that's one of those fundraisers. You're tapping into, you know, the brewery scene, the beer scene, and bringing parents out to be a part of giving back.
Plymouth is really interesting in the fact that, like, you know, I grew up not far from here, but, you know, you'd have be like, oh, you know, I want to be a professional musician or whatever, and you generally got the, like, you should have a fallback and blah. But like Plymouth, you can see
You
it.
can make a living.
But like you can see it everywhere.
Carl?
Like
Yeah.
on every.
Carl, do you want to chime in on that?
But but I mean on every level. Like you have someone like yourself
Yep.
that teaches music. You have kids that play music. You have music skills. You have music schools here. You have Plymouth Violin here. So someone's you know making a living repairing violins.
Middle Street Music down
Middle
the street.
Street Music. You know, there's 40 bars and restaurants that have music at least once a week, more like 3 times a week. You have the Spire, you have Memorial Hall. Like you have every tier of music.
Plymouth
in
is
this
very
town.
rich.
Yeah.
Very rich in that sense.
That's cool.
Funny story about Carl.
Oh.
Carl,
Love funny stories
I know
about
everybody
Carl.
loves
Wait, funny like, haha, clever, or is this like going to really embarrass the shit out of him?
No, I won't embarrass the shit out of him. I'm sorry.
All right, you can tell it anyways.
But
Yeah.
So I got a few about you, but I'm going to hold off until you.
appreciate that, Carl. So Carl, his son was in his senior year of high school and is playing the bass, got really into the bass, and he tells Carl that he wants to go to Berkeley and study music. So I'm sitting here at the bar one day, and Carl sits down. He goes, "You got to tell me why this is okay for him to go to school and study music. Why is this okay?"
Right.
And-
Why is it okay?
And he, you know, Carl had all the concerns that a parent should
Yeah,
have.
right.
What happens
Gonna spend
after?
yeah.
$600,000 on Berkeley College of Music, and
Yeah.
he's going to be a bum. That was my thought.
That was the thought, and I told Carl, I said, if this is something that he wants to go to school for,
But it's
then
not bad. He's 45 and just moved out of the house.
he's done very well for himself.
I was going to say, that's some freeze-dried bullshit, because I was here
Yeah, I
the
was
other
gonna
day,
say, yeah.
and Carl was hanging out watching Chris,
Yeah.
Carl-
right?
Yep.
Yeah, Chris play, and
He's proud of him.
yeah.
But my advice to Carl, and my advice to any parent who has, you know, who's kind of questioning, you know, what, you know, sending their kid to school for music is, if they're, you know, if that's something that they really like, send them, because they're going to be successful.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Do what you like.
I unfortunately,
deep breath
I mean,
and
I
did
went to
Yep.
school
You still
for
owe me
music, but now here I am
$350,000.
being a general manager at a
away.
restaurant. But I will say there's a lot of discipline that you can learn in music education. There's tons of discipline. You have to like practice all the time.
Yeah.
You have to.
But you have to want to practice.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
you can't just say I want to play the guitar and pick it up
And not-
once
yeah.
a week and
Yeah.
just go to your lesson,
Yeah.
you're never going to be able to play
Right, and that's
guitar.
what I mean. Yeah,
It's
like
somebody that, my son used to play down the cellar all the time, where to the point I'd had to open the door and say, for God's sakes, just can you stop playing for an hour?
Jesus, just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
But he that was his thing. I mean,
Yeah.
he just liked to fiddle around with it and play and learn new things. He was
Yeah.
always on YouTube trying
Yep.
to pick up this tune and that tune.
And even in college, like, you're very social in the music program because you're playing with a bunch of people all the time. So they are teaching you things that maybe you didn't know about, or, I mean, we actually, in my college, I went to UMass Dartmouth, we had to have, it was a mandatory class. It was just one day a week for 2 hours, and it was a performance class, and you just had to sit there, and they would talk about performance. You would perform in front of people. I mean, it was everything all the way down the line, and I was like, this is so stupid. And it was 0 credits at the time, which was pretty stupid, but it was mandatory for my degree. But I learned a lot. Like, I learned a lot just about how to be in front of people, how to perform in front of people, how to be social, how to like in the community, and how you all band together and you can just create something that's crazy. And so I think a lot of parents are always weary about their kids going to school for arts in general. Like,
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely an arts thing, and it's based off of old information.
Yeah.
That like, oh, no artist
Yeah.
sells paintings unless
Yeah.
they're dead, because like
right, it's true.
it is. It's
they're
old. It's
dead.
old information.
Yeah.
Because like I went to like my best friend in high school went to school for like he left school to become a chiropractor. No one sat down and said, "Oh, should he have a fallback? He doesn't want to be.
Right,
He's
yeah.
not a chiropractor.
Right,
He's a respiratory therapist. He changed like
right.
you're 18. You don't know what
Yeah.
the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
Some people do, but
Yeah.
most don't.
Yeah.
Go give it a try.
Yep.
But don't be afraid to change. So
Yeah.
you could start off as
I started off in music education.
Cellist. I don't know
and
what you were.
I played the French horn.
Okay.
Which I don't anymore. But
you
sometimes I
still
wish
could.
I should. If I picked it up today, I probably could. But
So you're gonna volunteer for the fundraiser?
yeah, I'll be go.
Yeah.
It's funny. My son,
Like on Young Frankenstein.
my son picked up saxophone when he started middle school, and I'm like, I used to play saxophone. He's like, you can teach me. I'm like, oh no, I can't.
Yeah.
I hadn't played in.
No, music
long
is
time.
I call music a life skill.
Yeah.
Music's one of those things that, if you're singing, if you're learning, and you're never too old to get into it. Carl, there's still hope for you for
Yeah.
that.
'Cause you want me singing.
Well,
No,
Oh,
we
you can
didn't
play
say
an instrument.
sing. Yeah.
please.
You can play solo. Solo, we can't hear you.
Play tenor, 10 or 12 miles away.
That was a way better joke. Yeah.
just the benefits of studying music, what it does for the brain, what it does for the person itself. It just is it's very rewarding, and for a lot of people I've talked to, a lot of guys who have entered retirement, people that my dad has worked with, who've entered
You keep
retirement.
motioning at Carl.
Yeah.
Anytime you talk to old
I noticed
people.
that
Hint,
too.
friends, old man.
Anyone who's
Old man.
like got one foot in the grave.
And they always ask, how do I start this? How do I pick up this instrument? And my response is always just go do it.
Yeah.
Just go start it. There's plenty. Speaking of Plymouth, Plymouth has a ton of musicians and music schools that are willing to get people started, get musicians started, and it's a place to start.
Yeah.
Grab an instrument and go. It's
Yeah,
fun.
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Actually, I was just thinking too. I'm like, we were talking about the music scene in Plymouth, but like up in Boston, so what do you have a lot of restaurants around you that play music a lot? As I wouldn't say as much as here because I feel like it's unique in Plymouth, but in the city, is it prominent at all?
Not as much where I am, but if you go towards like Faneuil Hall and stuff, every bar
And go towards
has
Berkeley, maybe, yeah.
someone playing. Like, so in Southie, there's probably like 2 or 3 bars that do it, but it's not like every bar. Like,
Yeah.
we do a DJ once a week.
Yeah.
That's the closest that we
Huh.
least on the space. So
Oh,
I think
true.
that's more what it's limited by is space wise, because they just see the stuff
Yeah.
people in instead of
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Who rather Paying customers then.
But yeah, if you go like to like Faneuil Hall or something like that, like every bar
Yeah.
you walk by has a different thing, especially when the windows are all open. It's
Yeah,
kinda
true.
wild to hear a full band play with 3 people in different windows and stuff. So
Yeah. I was just thinking about, like, as many times as I've been to Boston, I don't think I've walked down the street and heard a bunch of music like I do walking down the street in Plymouth.
yeah, it just depends where you are.
Yeah.
Because I think it's more nightclubby than
Yeah.
anything in the city. But like there's those little bars and stuff like that area. Like,
Yeah.
more historic, I think,
Yeah.
themed.
And it's
bars.
weird. Even like Plymouth has like a higher concentration of bars per block. It feels like there's a lot, but it's
Yeah.
just I feel like you know,
Right.
you like pass a bar and like a CVS and a McDonald's and a Dunkin' Donut.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And then another bar.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
where
it's more
here's like
spread
a
out.
bar,
Yeah.
something, bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the way down the street.
It's more shocking when you don't find a bar.
You're lost at that point.
When did this place close? Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not in Plymouth anymore. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. I walked all the
Kingston.
way. Yeah.
All right, Andy. So what's the worst thing about having to deal with Carl in playing your band here?
Listen.
You can be honest.
He yelled at me the other day,
Day he was playing here.
Time out.
and I was.
He
Hold on.
yelled at me.
I didn't.
You yelled at
said.
me.
You said,
I said what?
do you have any recommendations?
I don't remember this.
And I yelled, take it all off, baby.
Oh, yes. No, yes.
I believe they're requests.
They're called requests.
Yeah.
I was like, recommendations?
I'm sorry. Request. You said
Anyone gotta
request.
get a
I said, take it
vagina?
all off, baby.
Take
And
it
you
all off,
said-
baby. What
I
did
meant
what
to
was my-
sing a song.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now you remember
Song
that?
requests. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I think the hardest part with playing here at New World is just having Carl stare at you the entire time while you're playing.
I heckle my own band.
It's
a lot of
yelling
fun.
at him.
It's a lot of, you
louder and
suck!
louder.
Who plays this? Who plays this?
Yeah.
I'll pay you, but
No,
I guess
you know, it's funny because a
of
lot of musicians that we sign up, their first question is, "Are you going to be there?" I'm like, well, I figured everybody wants me to be there.
No one says
Can I
that.
chime in?
Yeah.
That's, so like we've played at places where we've gone in, we've set up, we've played, and we left, and nobody said a word to us. Not a single word.
Not like a
It's-
hey, good job, or hey, that sucked,
nothing.
or
It's like a transactional
Yeah.
little process. Like come in, set up, play, goodbye, on your way out. And then,
Yeah.
and for us, it's like we're all about playing at places that have great hospitality, and you can be abrasive sometimes, but
a lot of times.
a lot of
But at
times.
least it's a personality.
That's it. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
But just when a musician's setting up, like we've played places like, hey, somebody comes in and checks in on us before we start. That's all we want. It's just like meet the people who we're playing for and who signed us up.
Well, I think musicians too have a lot better time when the audience interacts with them anyway.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's when you're singing or playing in front of people that are not even paying any attention, which is okay too. It's harder than if people are yelling, play this, play
Yeah.
that, play this, and then at least you know, hey, they're listening
Yeah,
to us.
yeah, exactly.
And when the staff like is part of that,
Yeah.
like it encourages.
Oh yeah, like there's times where like if I'll wait and if nobody starts clapping, I'll be in the back and I'll be like, woo!
Yeah.
I'll try and get it
one
going.
person starts.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the whole
Play starts.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, there's a band here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you meant that happened to us at a brewery very recently. It was a large brewery, and I like walked in and I had to be like, where are we setting up? We were doing mug painting, and we're like, where are we setting up? And they're like, oh, I think those 2 tables right by the door. It felt like
the parking lot, Andy.
no, it literally felt
Next
like
to the
we showed up
dumpster.
at the airport, set up in a lobby, and no one questioned anything because no one came over to talk to us.
Yeah.
Like we were just there, and like the people had a good time and whatnot. But it was just we didn't feel unwelcome. We just didn't feel welcome.
Welcome,
And
yeah.
it was just like this weird like. Do they know we're here?
Yeah.
Did we just set up and no one cares?
Yeah.
And no
Was
one.
that your first time there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
It was.
Yeah,
If you were there all the
usually-
time, and like you see.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
there's
like-
places that I will just walk in and start
Yeah,
setting
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But it was our first time running an event. I had gone there once to like scope the place out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Usually, if there's when I book the bands up front, if it's a brand new person, I'll either, if I know I'm not going to be here, I will like send them an email and be like, this is where you're going to set up, this is what you do, bring your own stuff, blah blah blah. If you need this, talk to this person, whatever. And I at least give them some context. And then when I get here, I'll be like, hey, it's me, hi, how are you? And then And then at the end of the set, if I catch them in person, I'll tell them, oh, that was great, or that sucked, which I usually don't. Or I'll at least
that for
text
yelling.
them and say, hey, that was
You're not
awesome,
welcome
that was
here
great, everybody loved you, like, blah, blah. I at least try and engage with them when it's their first time.
Yeah, so I usually go up and say, you better be
Yeah.
bringing in a lot of people. I'll tell
Yeah.
you right now,
Yeah.
I'm not having you back again. And they're like, oh, who's this asshole?
He's
Yeah.
not
You're
lying.
But
Yeah, that's
no one questioned it.
yeah,
But
I mean, what's worse?
Is it playing to an empty house, or is it playing to I'll say full house that nobody cares that you're playing?
So you guys, I think it was the last podcast you did. You had Matt on.
Yeah, Matt
And,
Audette.
you
Yeah.
you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
You listen to our podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Carl doesn't even listen, and he's on it.
I don't know how to download.
I was gonna say he doesn't
You
know
don't
how
even need to
listen
download
You
it.
don't
You
even need
push
it.
play.
Don't,
Whatever.
don't
Yeah.
even.
Carl,
It's 150 episodes. We still can't explain it to
He's
him.
dated. But that's that. You guys talked about, is it the band's responsibility to bring
Yeah.
people in, or is it the band's responsibility to keep people in the seats? Whatever. I've always had the idea that it's like there are some nights you play for empty bar stools, and you might look at that, especially if it's a first time musician, like, oh, okay, this guy's got no pull, But it's just, there are so many other factors that go into how busy the bar is, or
Yeah.
if you're bringing people in.
Right.
It's like we as a group have a pretty consistent following
Yeah.
here in Plymouth, and even we're here once
You have to
a
put extra
month.
staff on when you play.
Well,
I know.
Sorry.
It's amazing.
No, it's a good thing.
It's amazing.
It's a good problem to have.
Because you're needy.
it's because I'm needy. I don't think we're needy.
It's because you all drink Guinness and it takes a long time to pour it.
It's true.
This is also true.
But you can hit those weird days that we ran into it recently.
Yeah.
We ran it was last Monday. I think it was last Monday. We had an event and we had 4 people. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this so dead? And the bartender's like, Super Bowl was yesterday. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Why is anyone coming out tonight? I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There's a lot of factors that go into what bring people out, what don't bring
Yeah.
people out, and it's like funny, it's
Yeah.
you talk about Plymouth and the geography of Plymouth, and I always say that during the fall, the winter, and early spring, everybody's up here on Court Street.
That
As
still
soon-
baffles me.
As soon as the summer hits, everybody's down on
Water
Water
Street.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's just
It's a
the
block
way it
away.
is.
That's what it is. Yeah,
It's
it literally-
hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
But there's some places that don't want musicians to quote unquote interact with the audience. They just want to be like a background noise.
set up and play.
And
To me, that's
and
like
then-
have a jukebox.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're-
Pandora.
yeah,
What's the
yeah.
point?
yeah, right, exactly. If you're going to pay somebody to be here, you want them to engage with your customers, not, you're right, just roll the radio on if that's how it's going to be. But there's we like for you guys to talk to the guests and be like, hey, what do you want to listen to or whatever, and then that makes them feel involved, and then they'll be like, oh, last time we were here it was great, the band was great, they were interactive, and then they'll want to come back, and it's just an overall
And it's not so much the
experience.
band. It's if they come in and it's a good time, they're going to come back in
Yeah.
saying, oh, let's go back to that place. They have music.
Yep.
Right.
Right. Yep. Exactly. I think music is so huge here in
But
Plymouth.
the wait staff everywhere.
Yeah.
I always talk about you guys all the
Yeah.
time here at New World, just because
Keep talking. Keep
you
talking.
guys, you do.
say
When
good
Carl's
things,
not
Carl.
here, this place runs smooth. But that's that's one of those things. People come back, they'll sit and hang out with
Yeah.
us for all 3 hours because of how great the wait staff. Chance came in. We were here setting up.
Yep.
We started. Chance wasn't here yet, and everybody was like, "Where's Chance?" And Chance is one of the waiters here. And Chance came in, and the place erupted in applause when he walked in. They were pumped.
I'm pretty sure that was me. Or maybe when I was leaving.
Anyway, regardless, people were clapping.
Yeah.
But that's it. Just people will come back and they will sit for 3 hours because they are being waited on, and
Yeah.
they love the people that are waiting on them, and they've developed a lot of the people who come out every gig every
Yeah.
month have developed a relationship with this place and the people that work here, and it brings
Yeah.
them back for more.
Yep. It's all about atmosphere.
It is.
Whether it's the music, the staff,
Yep.
the food, everything. That's why people go out.
Carl's part of the atmosphere.
Unfortunately.
just like black mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a spore joke somewhere.
Please don't say anything about holes and spores. Please don't.
Yeah, remember this is for a fundraiser.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Someone's parent might listen to this.
My parent might.
Listen, you can't download it.
Yeah. But no, we're excited to have you guys here for that fundraiser. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think
it's going to be a blast.
yeah,
And
it's going to be a good time.
Just don't bring those high maintenance parents.
So
Can you do this? Can you do that?
Well, you
know, I
won't
really
be
want this.
here, so you
No,
won't have
usually-
to deal with it.
Who's usually here?
Usually you are.
Thank you.
So one of my
Andy, I'm offended.
I know, but this was pre Jess.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, now it's pre-Jess.
So so Carl would be the guy to greet the parents, and like parents come in and they're like fundraiser time, and Carl's in there, with his dirty jokes and ball busting, and some of the parents are like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
And
That's what
other
everybody
parents
says all the
Other
time.
parents
embrace
clown
it.
here,
Yeah.
Right.
we had one parent
Complain?
no didn't complain,
Just one. That was bad.
Wow, yeah.
mentally gear up for Carl.
That's usually how we have to introduce him to
She
anybody.
was like,
at all.
is he going to be here again this year? And I was like, I think he is. She was like, I'm ready for him.
Well, now you have to be here.
It's like I'm making Carl blush this
We had a
time.
fundraiser, and one of the parents came in, and they came early. They were like 20 minutes early. We didn't even open the doors yet. And I said, they're like, oh, I didn't pay online for the ticket. Can I pay here? I'm like, there's nobody here yet. It's just me. I haven't even taken the chairs down. Jesus Christ, go over there and sit down on the table, and when somebody comes up here at the podium, you can give him the $20 later. So he comes in, he's sitting down. Needless to say, he knew my brother-in-law who came in, and they got talking, and all of a sudden the guy turns to me and goes, so, do you yell at all your customers like that?
And my brother-in-law goes,
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Carl.
Yeah, I mean, you get away with a lot, which is great. Everybody thinks you're lovable.
That's right.
Do we?
Thinks, I said.
I was going to go with tolerable.
I'll take it.
Right, I was going to say. I guess that's a
But Carl,
happy medium.
it's the last call.
Last call.
Andy, last call is where we go around the table. We get to plug whatever we want.
All right.
I'm going to go with you last because
Great.
you're the guest.
I got to think about this one.
I'm gonna put Jess on the spot and go with her first again.
I was first last
I
time.
know.
This
Now
is
you're first again
bullshit.
this time.
That was like a month ago.
Yeah, by the time this comes out.
Actually, the audio on that one was so problematic that could be 3 months from now.
Oh
Who
my
knows when that's
God,
coming out?
Here we
The
go.
lost tapes.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I fixed it.
Yeah, wait,
For this
yeah.
one.
You fix now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey. Fish had to get a better job.
I'll plug St. Patrick's Day because that's far enough in advance.
It's
right?
coming out in April.
Dude. I don't even know what's going on in April.
I don't even know what day it is now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. We have all sorts of stuff going on here at New World Tavern. We have bagpipers coming in at one point. They're going to play a whole set on our stage. We have Tim Clark playing, Jeff Hilliard. Total Strangers is going to be playing out back. So we have live music all day. We have some food specials going on. But it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans. Is that what they call it? Yeah.
but we're not having corned beef and cabbage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What?
We're
We're having corned beef, sandwiches,
Sans cabbage.
Yeah,
but no
sans
cabbage?
and nobody eats that stuff anymore. It's
Yeah.
for old people.
It's bullshit.
Like Carl.
That's also bullshit.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, yeah, come down to New World Tavern for St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mahoney, what you got?
After listening like the last couple episodes, I feel like we've been really mean to Andy. And I'm not going to apologize.
We're just gonna be meaner to Andy.
Don't change.
I thought
now.
it was just stating the facts.
Yeah, no, that's it. I thought he was going to ask me for an apology and expect it, and I just want to cut that out real quick. So that's it.
Please,
We've just been mean to Andy.
I know you guys.
Come to Vegas and see us be mean in person.
live. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Mean in front of 150 people. Awesome.
All right, I'm going to unplug people who sell cookies. So somebody brought cookies to the bar the other day and said, oh, I went to this cookie place and brought these cookies. There's like maybe 6 cookies.
Oh, I know the place you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was like $60.
Yeah,
It's like
for
$10
cookies.
a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who sells cookie for $10?
You're just upset you didn't jump on
I'm going to
Yeah,
make cookies.
and sell them for $10.
Heine's cookies.
Heine's cookies.
Fuck.
I don't want one.
Yeah, I don't want one either. I don't want to nibble on
Chew on this.
a Heine.
There it is.
Yeah, it amazed me.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of
I was gonna
It's
say
like
no, I'm
you
like,
can
yeah, I want that.
buy a beer or a cookie. Why would anybody buy a cookie?
I don't know. I haven't had
Baffles
said
me.
cookies. And,
Well, they're on the menu starting next week, by the
Right,
way.
yeah.
get bacon, Jess.
Carl's
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah.
Carl's.
They're just Chips Ahoy's that he
Packaged. Oreos.
Yeah, it's
It says Oreo on it. We made it.
I'm only
Bring him
charging you
a sleeve.
$7.
Yeah. We make these in the back. It says Nabisco.
How do you get that cool stamp on the cookie?
Was it, Fridays used to do that. They used to have like a Oreo ice cream sundae. And it was literally like the Oreo ice cream sandwich that they would just like drizzle chocolate on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if it ain't broke.
Right, yeah.
Right?
It works for
right.
someone.
All right, Andy.
All right.
Over to you.
Well, I will. I'll plug our Plymouth Calling fundraiser Sunday, March 5th at 5:00 p.m. here at the New World Tavern, and a very, very special thank you to New World and Carl and Jess and
You're
everybody
welcome.
everybody else involved in Carl's continued support of the performing arts here in Plymouth. So
Cool.
Cool.
thanks, Carl.
You're welcome.
I'm going to plug allowing your kids to study arts, whether it's music, theater, visual arts. It is not what you think. There are plenty of jobs, and just like anything else, some people are going to do really, really well. Some people aren't. It's just another job. Not every person who goes to med school becomes a doctor. Not everyone that goes to music school becomes Aerosmith or whatever.
Becomes Steven Tyler.
Insert band here.
But you can still make a very successful career and not even be a celebrity.
And do what you like.
Yeah, and do what you love. You know, and that you could make a living
Unless
and
it's
be happy.
murder. Don't do that.
No. That's why I said the arts. That's not an art.
Hey, it depends
You
on
asked.
I don't know.
Jeffrey Dahmer might disagree.
So you can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com with all your questions, complaints, hate mail, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on all social medias at bartalkcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.